Learning to draw with color pencils is very complicated, but if you learn the right techniques with the right kind of colors and tools, it is actually pretty simple once you get a good handle on it. So this video is going to be about drawing with the white color pencil specifically. So no, you cannot draw white on top of dark with colored pencil, the same as you can paint white on top of dark with like acrylic, but you can still use that pencil for blending purposes or lightening up an area or burnishing, which is just a form of creating a nice waxy coating over the top of a couple of layers. And as you can see in this example here, I am using kind of a harder pressure to create a nice blend of what I've already drawn. So once you've got a few layers down, then that's when you can start to use the white color pencil. And you don't have to use it haphazardly like this, but if you use it in certain areas that you know need to be lightened up, blended, or just smooth out in general, you can use the white color pencil to do so. If you're a little bit worried about using white because it might lighten it up too much, you can also use different colored pencils that are lighter to do the same thing. So with this lighter blue, I'm able to kind of create a little bit more of a sense of highlights in a way, which I will show you in other examples. Right now this one is really good for creating a sense of like reflection happening. So you can use different lighter colored pencils, you can use light blues, light yellows, light pink, whatever you think looks closest to the reference image to create that sense of highlight. Or just blending in the light areas, you can do that too. Now this example here, there's definitely a lot of detail that is happening, so do keep that in mind that if it's something that has a little less detail, it's a little bit easier to understand the concept than something like this. But I really wanted to start out with this one first, that way you can kind of see a good basic understanding with the white color pencil specifically. Now, moving on to a different example, this is a fawn deer, it's a white-tailed deer, and you can see there's a lot of white patches on the back, so I'm using a white color pencil. You don't have to have it super sharp, it's actually better to have it dull to blend and smear some of the color into the white so that it looks like it's a really nice smooth transition between the color itself and the white area. Yes, in the reference image, the white is much brighter, but you don't always get that opportunity to make it that super bright unless you just leave that area completely blank. And for me, because I'm OCD, I'm going to not leave it blank and I'm going to incorporate at least white into that area. So you can see here, that's what's happening is I'm incorporating the white. I'm also using it within the drawing itself, but I'm drawing in the same direction as the fur that you see in the reference image. That's very important. You want it to look realistic, right? So then draw in the same direction as best as possible. Sometimes in some pictures you don't get to see the details nearly as well, but I always try to find images that do have enough detail for me to refer by. This is another great example of using white. I'm actually doing very long strokes and I'm incorporating it into this goat. So it's just mostly the body that I'm using it on for this example here. And you can see that, yeah, it's showing up, but not like 100% white on top of the layers. And that is very, very important to be sure that if you want something to be super white, then you have to work around that area. The white color pencil is not going to do that for you, but it is nice to have the white color pencil in hand for instances like this here, where you do want to make it look like it's going to stand out a little bit more in the portrait. And notice how this pencil is a little bit sharper. When I want something to be more on point or a little bit more detailed, I make sure my pencil is sharp. If I want it to be spreading out more in more generic areas where I'm not actually adding detail, I don't care if it is blunt, because it really actually helps to make the pencil last longer if you can avoid sharpening it as much as possible. Another trick to keep it lasting longer is to roll your pencil as you are drawing. That will keep the point sharper for longer periods of time. If you're having difficulty getting it to look lighter, I suggest maybe slowly building up your layers with lighter colored pencils and then work with heavier ones with a little bit heavier pressure as you've gotten quite a few layers down first. It makes a big difference because you haven't necessarily ruined the paper or applied too much of a waxy coating, where then it gives room for the white color pencil to do its job. So try that out and see. Maybe do a couple of test strips to see how that will work out, applying layers depending on the amount of intensity that you actually use, like the amount of pressure and the colors, all of that all together, and see how that goes. Color pencils is a slow art medium, so you have to be very patient and very devoted to using them. So in a way, like, these videos are going to be slower and more detailed into how I go about using them, as well as different tools and stuff. So just, have fun, be patient, and enjoy these videos. And if you have questions, please let me know in the comments below. But if you are new here, my name is Lauren Klein, and I'm a color pencil artist. This is not my full-time job anymore. I actually work at a funeral home now, but I still do this on the side, and I absolutely love doing it, and I love teaching and selling my art prints as well. So I get to do a little bit of all of it. So if you enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Check out my classes that I have on my website, where you can pick out any animal that you want to learn to draw from. If you want to go further into depth, I also have a full 8-week course that is on my website, where you can learn to draw pet portraits. It's also really good for wildlife at your own pace. They're all at your own pace, and you can ask questions as you go along. I try my hardest to provide really helpful tips for you guys. So if there is something that you think you want to learn more about, please let me know. So this is also another example for using a white or just a lighter color pencil in general. Right in this area, there's a nice reflection that is going on because it's a fish. It's out of the water from this picture, but you can see that shininess that occurs on fish, especially when they're taken out of the water. So it's this nice, beautiful reflection happening, and I really want to enhance it. So what I did was I left a lot of room for the white areas, and then drew a little bit of some detail in there, but then I went over all that with a white color pencil to blend it all out. And you can really see the difference between not using the white color pencil and using it. It makes it very, very smooth, as if it was, had a little bit of a glossy, watery sheen on it itself. So that is the whole intention for some of these animals, especially in eyes, to get that nice reflection. It's not just about leaving room for the white area, but about working with what you have and increasing that white area by smoothing it out, smoothing those edges out with the white color pencil. My suggestion, if you're going to try something like this, try to find an easy subject and practice by building up a couple of layers in one section and then working with the white color pencil after that. You can also use it on, let's say, a lighter type of animal, such as like one of those white dogs, something like that that you can practice with. Here's another great example of what I mean by using lighter colors. I really like using this pale blue for a lot of different animals and different features, especially in the highlighted areas or just lighter parts of the body itself. But you can see that I'm using, it's still a dull point, and I'm just kind of working with the first couple of layers first, and then I start to build up some of those layers instead of applying it on top exactly. So you can also do that with the white. So if you only have a couple of layers that are very, very light, you can use the white again, and you can still add detail afterwards. So don't worry about necessarily not being able to do anything after you've applied the white. I do hope that this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any questions about using white color pencils or light ones as well.